I've had more sex in the talking and dating stage of each one of those relationships. I've had, the best conversations and the best time, the best fun and everything. And then everything decreases when you go into a relationship. And I've lived with like whatever, 2 or 3 of them. And when you're in the talking and dating stage, of course, you're living in separate homes. Sometimes it's different cities, and it's still more sex and more fun in the talking and dating stage than when you get in a relationship. And then I hear from married folks, it can decrease again. And these same women that I'm in a relationship with, they want a ring, they want to get married. I'm like, well, I'm not having fun or having sex now. What's going to happen if I give you a ring? You want me to lock in this?
Firsthand on your mind.
One thing about having this show here is that, this is like, I can come on here and talk about shit and I don't have to waste my cousin Teray's time and stuff like that. We're talking about stuff.
We're not wasting your time, audience. There's something you're going to get out of this.
I can get it off my chest and stuff like this on the show, and then
But you two will benefit from hearing what Bubba has to say.
There is something crazy going on that I really don't think about until like the situation is there. And like in my experience, the reason why I'm going to group all men together soon here, but the reason why I love the talking and dating stage so much is people put their best foot forward in that, and we talked about this in the past, but everything gets good there. In every relationship I've had, every last single one of them, I've had more sex in the talking and dating stage of each one of those relationships. I've had, the best conversations and the best time, the best fun and everything. And then everything decreases when you go into a relationship. And I've lived with like whatever, 2 or 3 of them. And when you're in the talking and dating stage, of course, you're living in separate homes. Sometimes it's different cities, and it's still more sex and more fun in the talking and dating stage than when you get in a relationship. And then I hear from married folks, it can decrease again. And these same women that I'm in a relationship with, they want a ring, they want to get married. I'm like, well, shit, I'm not having fun or having sex now. What's going to happen if I give you a ring? You want me to lock in this? And I think one mistake women make, and it's just a dumb, silly mistake, is if something is not going their way or they're perturbed about something, they remove sex from the equation, thinking that's going to make the man change or fix or add to whatever the situation is. And I think you need to take away, if you cut his hair, or if you cook, or those are some of the things you take away.
You're underestimating McDonald's.
If you take sex away, men like one of my main 3, I have to empty my nutsack. And if you're not emptying my nutsack, I'm going to find a way. If you're feeding a stray animal every day, right? If you're feeding a stray animal every day, that stray animal is going to come, it's going to take the food, it's going to know, even that's not your animal, but that animal knows to come here this time of day every day because you're feeding it. And that stray animal, depending on what type of animal it is, it's going to like protect the place because he knows this is where I'm getting my food every day.
Yeah.
And he's going to take care of this place and do this and that. He's going to come back every day. The moment you stop leaving that food out, he's going to come a couple of days. Oh, stop putting food out, stop putting it. He's going to stop. One of those days he's going to stop coming all together.
Yeah.
You understand?
Exactly.
And then there's no protection because there's no food.
Literally stop coming. On you, in you, anywhere near you.
Am I off base here?
Hell no. No, I mean, yeah. I think there's a couple things to it. I mean,
we haven't tackled this directly, but sort of like, on the peripherals.
Yeah, it makes, I say like, I have to say that's the one thing the woman brings to the table is sex. And I'd say that seriously, but in a couple ways. Like if you accept the premise that you're in a relationship with another person, the biggest component of that relationship is an essential agreement to be sexually exclusive with each other. That's why, I mean, that's what we're doing. Like, we can hang out and do activities and not have sex and be friends. We're not in a relationship. We could care about each other. But when you get into a relationship, when you progress through the dating and the talking and you're having sex together, there's usually a time where there comes to an understanding, explicit or expressed, that, you know, hey, we're just going to fuck each other for now.
Yeah.
And we're going to see where this goes. And so that's almost, to me, the very definition of what a relationship is.
Mm-hmm.
We are agreeing to have sex together exclusively. And if you're not going to provide that, like, why am I in this relationship?
Why?
What is the point of this?
What is the point?
I can pay my own bills.
Absolutely.
You know, and flip it. We could do bad all by ourselves.
Shout out to Tyler
Perry, for real. So yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I don't. Yeah, like, if you're going to withhold that intentionally, you're not doing yourself a service. And I'm like, you know, I've said this before, like, I don't fuck with vegetables and I don't fuck with church, because those were the two things I had to do as a kid that I didn't want to do. Mm-hmm. And so when I got to have a choice, I'm not doing it again. I have a big belief that when you force something on somebody or force them in a situation, you're not building sympathy or empathy, you're building resentment.
Yes.
And so when you're sitting there saying, well, I'm not going to do this with you because you're not, you know, doing something I want you to do. No, like, I'm going to go find a sex elsewhere and it's going to be better because you're already checked out.
You check out.
Yeah.
And then it's like you get to a point where you really just don't give a damn. Like, you can, like, I don't care if you walk outside butt ass naked. If some man picks you up and puts you in the van, that's just what you did. You know, I'm not gonna
just
come out.
Just another Wednesday.
I'm not gonna come out running after you. Like, you build resentment after, because, like, why do I give a damn? I'm pissed off in the house. Like, I got 6 more months of this, or hopefully I didn't fucking buy the house or whatever. You're sitting in there, you're just like, shit, man, I'm locked into this sexless, lifeless, you know, relationship.
Yeah.
And then whatever, you're gonna go through a couple weeks, couple months, and then you're gonna change your mind whenever you want some or something. You know, the resentment is already built up. Maybe I take it or whatever at the time, but shit, I'm already.
But it's like,
you know, it's different.
You
at that
will
point.
probably take it at the time. Kind of know you. I know myself. You'll take it at the time, but like that resentment does not go away. It
does not go away.
And that's the thing. Now, I do think though, like, I want to kind of address this from the other point. There's kind of the deliberate move of, you're not doing what I want, so I'm going to not give you what you want, and we'll both be miserable. But I do think, just when you get into like longer term relationships and things like that, even if it's not that directly expressed, if you do nothing as a couple or a partner to your partner to keep the sex like active, engaged, even if you're not actively withholding it, but if you just get complacent with it, you're often going to end up in the same place. Yeah. Because it's like you have a duty, I think, to keep sex interesting, to keep sex a significant part of your relationship. Both people have that duty. Yeah. So that you have something that you both want and that you enjoy doing in that area. Because we as people, we have a desire for intimacy and sex. If we're not getting it serviced, we will find a way to do that. And so that's keeping it 100% real. And it probably goes both ways. I mean, there's plenty of women out there smashing extra dudes, and it's because they're not happy or their dude's not, you know, showing the interest in them or whatever. You know, if you want to be in some sort of committed relationship, you have to be engaged in that aspect and do things that are going to be, you know, titillating, interesting, adventuresome in that area, or it's gonna dry up. Yeah. You know. No. And I do think, like, personally, I think you have to keep the sex in a separate lane. You can't connect the sex, kind of where we started with this, to some other behavior. That, oh, this person's not doing this, so I'm not going to want to do the sex. Even if it's not like an aggressive withhold, like, hey, I'm not giving you sex for whatever. Even if it's just simple stuff like, you know, you're kind of frustrated because this person like spent too much money last week, or you're frustrated because they, you know, leave the toilet seat up or something like that, and now you're kind of like going to get into the, well, I'm not really up for having sex because I'm too tired of this or that. Like, that's just a dark pathway that doesn't go anywhere good.
Nowhere.
It just, you gotta
Nowhere
gotta
fast.
come to grips with that.
Yeah. I think that was good.
It'd be better if we had the sex.
100%.
Yeah.